Hey, everybody, this is Neil, your host today with Local Yokels Podcast. Before we get started, I want to remind y'all to go to FancyNancyFoundation.com to get your tickets for the Jeep we're giving away for the House of Grace. Thank y'all so much, and now we're going to get right into the show. We got Mike Spanky Cooper.
All right.
Local legend car builder right here in North Mississippi. So,
well, thank you for that.
Yeah, man. Welcome today. Thank you for coming in.
Man, my pleasure.
Did you drive a hot rod today? I didn't think so.
Yeah. No.
I was a little disappointed when I pulled up and you're in your Toyota.
Yeah. I drive one every single day, though. There's not really a day that goes by that I'm not in one, except for right now.
Yeah, that's cool. I think the one that I'm used to seeing you in is the orange. Is it like a dreamsicle color?
Yeah, Roadster.
Yeah.
That's actually, yes, it's called Spanky Sweet Potato Orange.
So you got your own color.
It's my own color, yeah.
That's pretty good. I didn't even know that part. So, guys, I know him a little bit just from the circuit we were involved last year. And Spanky has his own hot rod shop and has his own YouTube channel. So for y'all that don't kind of want to know, like, why is this guy on? Well, for one, I love car culture. I love all these people I've met in the last couple of years with all the stuff we do for our giveaways. And I kind of got to knowing these folks, and like Spanky's a real deal, builds high-end custom vehicles, and we'll probably insert some pictures through the show of vehicles you built just when we start talking about some stuff. So matter of fact, that sweet potato one, if you got a picture, forward it to us and we'll make sure we put it in the show. But however, tell people your YouTube channel, and that's kind of what you do there.
Yep, Spanky's Hot Rods and Customs.
Gotcha.
Yep, name of the company, and it's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah. YouTube is the primary channel, though, where like the content mostly gets most of the traction.
That's right.
And so with that being said, one of the things that I like about it, you teach a lot. And so that's really what you love to do is share your knowledge.
That's right.
Yeah.
The whole goal behind the channel is to learn how to do your own work at home, save the money, get a high-end custom car built by yourself on a budget.
Yeah.
Using simple
if there's
tools.
Such a thing, you know, like I'm telling you, man, like one of the things that I appreciate most when I go to these shows, like, yeah, man, you got some wildly amazing stuff that like, it's just artwork.
It
you know?
is.
And then you got some that are like, they're struggling, but they're working on it themselves. They haven't quite got the same, because it's a hand-eye coordination, it's a vision, it's all that stuff. And no two things are going to be alike, you know?
That's right. My favorite cars at a show is the guy that did it himself.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate the other builders, you know, and the artistic that they do, but I prefer seeing the DIY guy stuff.
Yeah, because you see where like you can tell they've done that over and over, trying to figure out how to make the panel straight, and it's hard, especially with the old ones. You know, like you get some of those 40 model Fords and those slick curves on those things, man. I bet that is almost impossible to get those things straight. You know. Yeah,
the ones that are curvy to me are a little easier than the ones that are flat.
It's because you're Spanky.
No. The ones that are flat.
Those are the hard ones.
Yeah, they reflect the, that's why a mirror is flat.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I didn't think about that. Yeah. So, but what I was going to get at is like, the other day on your channel, I was watching on the YouTube portion of it where you were doing high-end to low-end guns. For spray guns.
Spray guns, yep.
And I thought, man, that's awesome because, like, anytime I've done, and by the way, I have never, ever painted a vehicle other than like a dump truck or something. And that was a rough coat of like heavy tractor implement paint or something. Right. But I did buy a gun, a couple of them through the years. And I just need something that's a rough shot. It don't need to be like laid down like glass, So I wasn't worried about those things, but it was still tricky to get the flow right, the pattern, and I thought, man, I didn't even know that. And you taught that on your episode about looking for the football,
right?
You know what I mean, and I didn't know that.
And like that gun that I had, my gun that is the staple. It's like a part of me.
Yeah,
that thing cost $600 25 years ago.
So now it's like $1,500 probably.
Right, and the one that I showed was $100. Sprayed just as good.
I saw that.
I mean, the technology, even with the offshore stuff, is caught up to what it was 25 years ago. But I mean, it's usually to the guy behind the gun. I mean, so One thing that I teach on the channel is that you could pay somebody $25,000 to paint your car once, or you can try it a whole bunch of times and still save a lot of money.
That's true. It's true. It's true. Because you're buying their expertise, you know what I mean? Their art, you know, like that is, because there's some phenomenal painters around here. Like, you know that. Like, you can name some of them off that you know.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and what you're paying for the materials that you're going to buy yourself.
Sure.
And just like anybody else, we're here to make a living. So if you're going to pay us for our time that we're giving our business, then it's going to cost you about the same price as what you're probably making at home.
Education costs money,
right?
Regardless of how you get it. And I always say that, regardless of what you're doing, you're either going to pay for it on the front end, you know, or it's going to cost you in the lessons that you learn. So,
Right. Well, I've never gone to school for anything that I do.
It's pretty amazing.
And it's, I taught myself because I screwed up so much. That I screwed up each time. Each time I kept getting better and better. Until now somebody can pay me to do what I do.
And it's easy to you now because it's so, I mean, I guess it depends on the project and the vehicle, you know, how easy it is. I mean, I know that, but what I wanted to get back is like with you're teaching now, you're giving back because you're in the twilight of your career, as we talked about it, and you're looking for an exit plan at some point in time down the road. Maybe not exactly tomorrow, but eventually, because, you know, it's not something you want to continue to do every day for a living. All right. But what you do want to do is continue to teach people and pass this knowledge on to the do-it-yourself guys, you know, because there's these experts out here, and I mean, they're amazing. We have tons and tons of amazing car builders in just our little community, you know, and I've had a few of them on the show, you know, but their knowledge came from just complete repetition, you know, and they probably learned some tricks from some people, you know, and I'm sure that's what happened to you. And then you just started like having to work it on yourself. And that's what you're trying to teach them, is how to like, don't make these mistakes if you don't have to, because I'm going to show you how to get past that.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean?
Well, just getting somebody up off the couch and out in their garage to do something themselves. That's the first step.
I need that from you, Spanky. I need you to get me off the ground.
You got to grab a project.
Oh my God. Know? I've got plenty of them, if you already don't know that. I've always got one in the works for these vehicles we give away. It seems like this thing I pulled up in today, that Jeep, by the way, it's specific built. It's a focused, mission focused giveaway. And when we get done, me and Spanky's going to take some pictures with it, and he'll probably post it up. But you know, it is with some help from a lot of people. You know, from Spider Off-Road, MSJ, to Duckworthy Inc., et cetera, these folks, Roofworks, all those people that I didn't do it without them. But I do know the vision. I got thinking about it today. Somebody asked me, "Well, who came up with that?" And I'm like, I got thinking. I'm like, I guess I did. You know what I mean? And I didn't realize it at the time, because you're bouncing ideas off of people and doing that stuff. And I'm sure you do that a little bit too with some of your co-builders in the area, you know, where y'all talk about things. And I know just from a little bit, I'm not even building these things. Like, it's just an idea, right? So then I take it to somebody and they do the work, you know, or we buy something that just got freshly done from Spanky or somebody like that. That's really just like a great example of a hot rod, and then we give it away. But I know just by little going around at these little shows and watching the details, and when somebody like a Raymond Montgomery, right? Let's bring him up.
My buddy.
He's an awesome dude. I love you, Raymond. If you ever see this, he probably won't, because, you know, he's probably not the biggest Facebook guy in the world, but, you know, he built that vehicle, drives it everywhere, and it's like a, what year model do you think, Plymouth?
I think it's 48, I believe.
It's 48
Plymouth. Yeah. Been in his family. His grandfather or great-grandfather bought it new.
Yeah. And this guy, probably not the biggest, skill level guy in the world when he started. You know what I mean? He was a working man, and he just had a project. You know what I mean?
That's exactly how we start. I mean, you know, I started because I couldn't afford to pay somebody to do it. I did it myself.
Yeah. You just learn over time, and it becomes a passion, and getting it right. And I'm sure every day when you go back where you working, were you excited to get home and to work on that project?
Yep.
In the initial.
It always takes a little bit of effort to get out in the garage.
Sure.
You know,
especially days, when it's hot too. In
the early days, I had to convince myself to get out there.
Yeah.
I usually had a goal that, you know, kept me motivated.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember what the first complete build you did, like from ground up?
my 71 Chevelle. I still have it. Ooh. And I bought it when I was 15. Wow. And I built it a piece at a time, a project at a time.
Yeah.
In my mom's driveway, in my friend's garage, and, wherever I did that particular project. It's probably still not finished, and I've had the car 40-something years.
Wow. And it's just like, well, I also will say this, like somebody that builds something knows all of its flaws.
Oh, I know all the flaws. And I can drive it somewhere, and I get out of it, and I'm smiling, and I walk back to it.
Yep.
It's not, nothing that I've done to that car has been since probably 88.
Wow.
So I may have put it's a Pro Street car, got the big fat tires and the blower and stuff on it, so it doesn't get out very often. Mm-hmm. The rear tires are
slicks,
30 years old.
30 years old.
Yeah. So, it doesn't go cross country or anything like that like my other stuff does, but I'll come to Hernando or Memphis Cars and Coffee or something like that and shake the ground a little bit.
Oh, my goodness. I need to see that. And matter of fact, I was meaning to come down this week beforehand. Just time got away from me. I'm messing with this Jeep and working, so I'm sorry. But I will get there.
Yep.
Yeah. I want to see your collection. But that's what I was talking about, though. Like, it's never finished. I don't care. Even if you pass on to a customer, you're like, man, I wish they'd have let me done this to it or whatever, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, when you build these cars, they take years. Mm-hmm. They really only take, let's just say 1,500 hours, 2,500 hours, depending on the car. And so that's only a year's worth of time. But when you're doing multiples and you're a one-man show like me now, it could take 3 to 5 years to finish a car because you got to work on this guy's car, then that guy's car, then that guy's car, and everybody wants something done during the month.
And they want to see progress.
Right.
I understand that. Yeah. And then you got your own little projects at the same time you're fooling with, because I know you got your own little cars.
That's right. Well, I have a particular day a week that is my day, and I still clock in and go to work, but it's on my own stuff, or building a fence for my wife, or whatever I've got to do. That's my day.
Right.
And that's when I get my stuff done.
So when you do finally shut the business end of it down, and we won't, who knows when that is, but when you do, whether it be in a year or 5 years or 10 years, what do you plan on doing? If you're not obligated to be at work every day, still going to be working on cars as projects.
Yep. Yeah. I will be
just
there.
Taking on no customers or anything.
Customers.
Unless it's some kind of like really special project that they give you plenty of time.
Yep. Yep, probably so.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm not going to commit to anything else right this minute, but I've got plenty of my own that I need to finish and start. So that's YouTube content for the channel mixed in with I may buy something to do some things for content. But
and that's at the Spanky Hot Rods. And Spanky's Customs and or is it Hot Rods and Customs?
Spanky's Hot Rods and Customs.
That's right.
That's the company name and the YouTube channel.
Gotcha.
Yep.
I just always call it Spanky's, but there is a specific name. So so the Hot Rods and Customs, and the biggest thing is the YouTube channel. Make sure y'all go and follow. Don't be lazy.
Yeah, like, tag, share, and subscribe.
Yes, all that stuff. That's so important to all of our channels, guys. We're not making money, by the way. I want to be clear on that. Like, it's pennies if you do anything. It's not like you got to get millions and millions of views to make money. So it's a labor of love, and it's a passion. It's a hobby and all that stuff. So when I tell people, like, do that for me, it just gets in the algorithm. It just helps the algorithm.
That's right.
To where other people find it and they go, wow, man, I didn't even think about that being an opportunity to learn something. And you got Spanky over here telling you all the do's and don'ts that he's learned. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
that's right.
And it may be completely different than what you learned. It just but there's always some kind of trick.
And that's what I do. It's tips and tricks coming from me. I do not try to do a how-to.
Yeah.
I don't try to use any of my fancy equipment or tools. I'm doing stuff with the same tools that most guys should have. Right.
That you could probably buy from a local supply store somewhere.
That's right.
So again, that's really important. Now, a little bit more, we talked about you and your son was trying to get into a new business, or he actually started one. So talk to us a little bit about that and tell us what it is.
Yep. TheVintageCarMarket.com. It's a website where if somebody's looking to buy a car, looking to sell a car, it's 100%, buyer seller page where you control the sale.
There's no broker in the middle.
There's no broker. I mean, we're going to have a thing added to where if you need help, we're there.
Sure.
And you can hire us to help if you wanted not to be out there yourself. But it's, you load your car, you sell your car, you collect the money. We're not touching anything.
It just makes it safer than like Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist. Right. So, there's a lot of scams in that world.
So many.
And dangerous. Like we hear all about it all the time. Like even I think Hernando had one here a couple of years ago where somebody went to buy a vehicle. It wasn't necessarily a hot rod, but like still, they got killed. You know what I mean? Because the person took the car and the money and shot them on top of that. So when you're dealing with a high-end vehicle, such as what y'all build, obviously the temptation's there. You know what I mean? And so it eliminates all that. It's a safer place. The only thing you are doing is monitoring the individuals that's on the page.
Right. It's a membership kind of thing. Free membership.
Free, but they vet you. Like make sure you're not a real person. You're a real person.
Real person, not a robot. There still can be, there's still somebody can find you and do something. So it's not 100% guaranteed. But we do everything we can to vet the members to where we know that it's somebody that has got a phone number, an email address, an address in general.
I think somebody dealing with the level of vehicles that y'all are dealing with, everybody's, should be on the up and up.
Right.
And the greatest thing about the car culture is everybody knows that person somehow or another. Right. You could call up to, if this guy's from Middle Tennessee, you might have met somebody at a car show somewhere 10 years ago, goes, hey, do you know that guy? And that happens, and they typically do or don't, or they'll say, oh, stay away from him or whatever. That's how this thing works. The culture runs deep. They're the greatest people. I swear. I say that all the time. I think Richard Burrow told me that one time. He goes, I just love car people, man. Yeah. And he's not wrong. I mean, it is like there's a certain, I think it's the dedication that it takes to build a vehicle.
Like-minded people together.
Yeah, very like-minded people, different taste in products, but at the same time, the passion's the same. That's what I mean? Like for the guy's 49 Plymouth, you might have a guy that really loves a 2017 C7 or something, It's the same passion. It's just newer versus older type stuff, And a little bit, we'll talk about that real quick before we get off that topic. It's tell them about the website again for the vintage car.
Yeah, it's thevintagecarmarket.com.
Thevintagecarmarket.com.
Yep.
Go there if you're looking to buy or sell cool old car. I'm sure there's probably like age groups that's in and out,
Yeah, well, not really. If it's a collector car, it's okay on there.
Okay.
I mean,
gotcha.
But, there is, we're keeping it clean.
Sure.
Hot rods, customs. It could be a brand new for
97 Tercel. You know what I mean? That ain't what's going on there. This is for collector hot rods or just high end cars. Right. Might even be a whooped out 6970 CUDA or something like that.
Exactly.
But it's still got good bones, whatever. Right. But it's collector cars. It's not, like I said, it's not your family wagon. Right. This is not marketplace. This is for collector and hot rod and vintage cars.
On that site. Now, we'll eventually have planes, boats, and then everyday cars.
Wow.
But we got to start. We're starting with the vintage
car. Give your son a shout out. Give him a little shout out. Is it little Spanky?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to say so. He's probably a lot smarter than me.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to the computer stuff. So.
Oh yeah, man, ain't they all? I mean, I think all the young ones are way smarter than us when it comes to that. Because they were born into it, man.
He was born into it. He still has his car that we built when he was 15.
Wow, what is that?
It's a 70 Nova. It's
beautiful.
Pro touring, pro street mixed together.
Right.
And
it's a big horsepower.
Yeah,
stuff,
that car's kind of what set me on the professional level of doing stuff.
Okay. Got your little name out there. People started seeing it.
That's right. I mean, it's 17 different magazine features around the world and cover car. And that one car, brought two more, and those two cars did the same thing, and it just a snowball.
Well, reputation. I think I talked to Ronnie one time. Ronnie Giesling, we were talking about that. I asked him one time about wanting to be a part of something. He goes, heck yeah. And I said, well, I'll put you logo. He said, Neil, I don't. And I just let my reputation speak for itself.
Exactly.
He said, I worked real hard to get that. I don't. People know. They know, Right. And he wasn't wrong. And I think that's true. Like you can just say his name or your name or others in the community that's in that field. it right away, everybody knows, like, oh yeah, if he's working on your car, it's going to be good, that kind of stuff. And I've heard that about you a ton from a lot of people. I like I said, the categories are different levels of different type of vehicles you might build versus, if you're into pro touring and then of course you love the I guess I don't know what year models they'd be. The ones you got are more like, to me, in the 30s, like in the 20s, like the 20 and 30 model cars you like.
Well, no,
personal.
I've got my personal cars as it's a gamut of a bunch of stuff. I mean, Porsche trucks, air-cooled stuff, muscle cars, and hot rods.
you're like a plethora of everything. You're just a car guy.
And a wagon. Yeah, I mean, I'm a car guy. And, I've got all the ones that I think I want.
Yeah.
And hopefully they won't go anywhere.
Oh, yeah. So I'm sure you spend a lot of time up at Monty's place because of his air-cooled systems on his Porsches and Volkswagens.
My motor, that's right. My motor is at
Monty Montgomery, by the way, Raymond's son. He has a Porsche. He mostly
DeSoto Euro.
Yeah,
so if you got a Porsche, it don't matter really what year it is, as long as it's air-cooled.
Yeah,
that's the way you need to go.
Yeah, he's amazing with that stuff.
Yeah, 40 plus years.
Yeah, and he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. So I mean, like on the YouTube channel, I went up there with my motor. I took my motor apart, making a video, and he held my hand while I was putting it back together. Now, I probably wouldn't have tried to do it without him because it would have been another one of those expensive school lessons if I'd screwed something up.
Man, yeah, because those things real like intricate. Like, I mean, Germans
sewing machines kind of thing.
Man, little pieces, little parts, but it's all tooled.
Specialty tools.
I mean, and like the tooling on that's what's so amazing. And they were doing it like 75 years ago.
Right. And a lot of the stuff, they don't have gaskets in between.
It's unbelievable.
I mean,
I will say this, and I don't know, I guess you can appreciate it. When you start thinking about, like, I know our American cars, like we have our own culture here with American muscle. That's kind of where it comes from, right? But when it comes to like those crazy, intricate engineered engines, like some genius came up with a Ferrari, you know what I mean? Like how many... I don't even know where that. I mean, today, if you looked at that as just a layman, you just sometime in the future, 1,000 years from now, somebody finds the blueprints to that thing and they go, "What was they trying to do with this?"
Exactly.
Go fast, but they can't look at it and tell it because, like, if you take a V8, like a standard Ford flathead or something, and then take it over here and compare it, whoa, man, it's not just.
I mean, a flathead versus that Porsche motor, it's unbelievable. Man, I mean, and you think about that Porsche motor was done around the same time they were doing the flathead stuff. And, you wonder why it's probably one of the fastest production cars still today.
Yeah.
Every year, it's almost the fastest production
They keep
car.
it in the top 5 all the time. Like, you hear about the Bugattis and things like that, but like you start hearing about and Ferraris and all that stuff, Porsche is always in there. And they're also well engineered and well made. I mean, like, they're going to last. You know what I mean? And there's usually only one guy in your whole area that knows how to work on them. Yeah. That's another problem.
Yeah, that would be Monty. And,
Monty.
Yeah. I mean, he has helped me out tremendously. If I had to more or less pay retail for what he's taught me.
Oh, man. Larry, again, a good friend that kind of showed you in the business. And we don't mind supporting other people on this show. I always like to name drop, like, it's not competition, man. Like, it's people like what they like. So if they like your work, they're going to let you work on it.
That's right.
It's just
I have no competition. Everybody out there, if somebody can't come to me, I'll recommend them to anybody that I know that would do a good
quality
job.
Stuff.
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I don't try to he's my customer.
Yeah, none of that.
Or steal a customer from somebody else.
It's hard to do. I mean, I think people sometimes, especially big car guys, like, it's got a lot of money and a lot of resources. They might bring one to you. They might bring one to like the Giesling, somebody like that. Like they'll move it around because they want projects done. And then there's limited times in those.
Right.
And they know it's all high-end quality work. You know what I mean? Because the paint's going to be perfect to body work. Because, I'm sure like you won't even put paint on a car until it's perfect, straight.
Yeah, it's passion driven for me. There's only one way to do it, and that's the right way.
Yeah.
And I really don't have levels that I do, but if somebody wanted a car that was going to be a driver and I knew they were going to enjoy it, it would still be a killer car done to the best of my ability for that guy's budget.
Right.
I wouldn't skip anything that's going to jeopardize my name.
Right.
But then I've done cars for people that I put the first 200 miles on there on every one of them before I turn them back over.
Yeah.
And I've gotten my cars back in there for a battery or for new tires, and it'll have 240 miles on it 16 years later.
They just get them in
40 miles.
Wow. Ain't that nuts?
In almost 20 years.
Why do you think that is? Just they want to look at them?
Yeah, this guy had like 50 something cars.
Oh, that makes sense.
He had one guy that would just drive it about a half a mile around the block once a month.
Just lubricate it and make sure everything was moving good. Yeah, and that makes them last too, by the way.
And man, the cars that I love to build, they want to be driven.
Yeah, yeah.
That car's got a personality. I build the personality of the owner into the car, for one, along with my personality, and I want to drive it. I mean, I want the car to be driven.
Yeah. You want to see it ripping.
Right.
Yeah. And then this thing's just sitting in there.
Right.
Sad, sparkling, you know, but at the same time, I know quite a few people like that. That's the problem with having more than one car. Like, it's just tough to drive them all the time.
Yep.
You know, so if the guy's got 50 cars, there's no way. You know what I mean? Like,
well, he's sold most of them now. So, two of the ones that I've done for him, one is in Hollywood and is being driven quite a lot. And the other one is in Dallas. And I've already gotten to come up meeting with the car again and enjoy it for a minute and actually do a few things to it. That guy drives that car to every Mavericks game. I'm not a sports guy, so
Dallas Mavericks.
If it's a basketball team, he drives it to every single game. He's a VIP member, so he has this little parking spot.
Sure,
but he drives it to every single game.
It's not Mark Cuban, is it?
No.
Okay,
the owner. He's a collector, a car collector, but he drives it weekly. And
what kind of car is it?
It's a '58. Chevy Nomad wagon.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah, and I don't restore anything, so it's a custom. I mean,
it's an absolutely custom car.
Yeah, I mean, that car did real well for me. It's been in TV shows and magazines. And
how long ago did you build it?
I built that car in 2002, maybe.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
And it's just now come out of its.
It's been locked up for its whole life.
And now this guy is enjoying it like crazy.
Oh man, that's an awesome story. Yeah, and I mean, like, nomads are rare. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was. People argued with it. That's not a nomad, but it was a nomad. It even said it on the title, but I mean, it was a nomad. I bet it had 200 feet of trim on it that I had to de-dent and polish.
Oh my God!
But it was a very, very bad off car when we started it.
Right, so it was a serious project.
Oh yeah, we had it acid dipped, and the roof was actually hanging on by maybe 4 inches.
Wow,
the whole roof was flapping.
A lot of welding, like a lot of that stuff, and then getting it straight. I bet it was a nightmare. But when it got done, amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it was cover car for magazines and everything.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. So you got to take a lot of pride in that. Yeah, you know what I mean. So I understand that. I mean, I wished I had that kind of talent, and that kind of drive.
It just takes time.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Sorry. Listen, let me tell you something. One thing I've learned is no two artists are the same. And I think what y'all do, when I say y'all, what I mean is the really high-end builders. It is your vision.
Passion.
And a passion. But like, I think it's your individuality of building that into the car. It's like so unique because okay, so I'll use a name everybody knows in the business, like Boyd Coddington. Mm-hmm. You pretty much can look at a car and know he had his hands on it back in the day when he was really moving. Right. And it was a Coddington car. You know what I mean? It just was. He had a specific type that he really focused on.
I think we all do.
Yeah. Your vision shows up real quick in that car. Like somebody that really knows vehicles, they can look at it and go, yeah, man, that looks like some stuff Spanky did. Well, because he built it, 22 years ago or whatever. And I think that's the cool part. And it's so unique. I don't think anybody can just jump out and be a builder. I think you can be an okay body man, and I think you can be an okay motor man, and I think you can be an okay this and that. But to be an overall ground up, do it all from frame to finish, drive it out the door.
Upholstery, the whole deal.
It's a very difficult. I mean, that's unique. There's not many. I mean, if there's 1,000 in the country, that's not many, overall when you start thinking about it. But I bet there's less than that do it from just A to Z. You do your own interior work and everything. And your teaching that was really impressive because that part of it, man, I don't know many men that are good at sewing, you know? And now you're dealing with like heavy leathers and stuff, you know? It's just, you mess up real quick.
Yeah. Well, I look at it like this. So you either have none of my cars are paint by number.
Yeah. No.
All right. And I'm going to sign my canvas after I get through painting it. And I don't want to think that somebody else touched that painting, one brush stroke or anything like that.
Yeah, that's what makes it unique.
So I want to make sure that I do everything.
Yeah, so like, you know, some of these cars and sometimes, you know, builders, doesn't matter because there's some amazing upholstery companies in this area to where like you send it off, you're going to come back with some amazing products,
And I've have, you know, that's what got me into the upholstery part of it. Yeah. You know, because matter of fact, it was that wagon back in 2000. I dropped it off to a well-known guy to have it upholstered, and I told him he had about 7 months to do it because it had been sponsored into SEMA and it was going to be in a booth, and my name was responsible to have it there. Yeah. And I'd done everything that I could to make sure that all of my work was good. Yeah. And it was a high-dollar upholstery job. And I kept up with him, and then finally I just did a surprise visit. The car had not been touched. Oh, wow. And I had 2 weeks before SEMA. He'd had the car for five months.
Oh, my God. I bet you were ready to just tear him apart.
Yeah, so I didn't like surprise him. I was already in the area delivering a car that I'd finished, so I happened to have a trailer. And I picked the car up and called home and said, I'm going to be a few days extra, and turned around and drove the car to Kansas. Begged a buddy of mine that was much more expensive to get me out of a jam. Yeah. So I came back home, grabbed some clothes, and went back to Kansas and worked with him for a week doing that car 16 hours a day. And from Kansas, I left to go to SEMA for 2 weeks.
Barely made the cutoff.
Yeah. You know, and
so there you go. You come home and you go, I got to figure this out for myself.
That's right. That's the last check I wrote somebody for doing work that I couldn't do myself.
I understand that struggle because a lot of times what we do is, you know, like, you know, even if they're getting paid, you know, when they're so busy, they just can't get to it in a timely fashion, you know, and you can't really put pressure on somebody that's getting paid by somebody. I mean, it's just, I don't know how to explain that, but like, you know, it's not I don't know how to explain it. It's not a manufacturing cars out of a line, you know, like at the Chevrolet dealership where everybody has their job. You know, there's usually 1 to 2 people touching this thing.
That's right.
So you can't put a rush on perfections. How kind of you visualize it, right? So when you got a guy that's supposed to be doing this work for you, you know, I mean, you're basically his mercy, you know. And so I love the fact that you're like, I can do it. I just got to figure out how to get the right equipment, the right machines. The sewing machines have got to be heavy grade.
Bought a used sewing machine back in the day from somebody, and you know, I've upgraded since then. When I felt like I had the hang of it.
Yeah. A lot of practicing, I bet.
Yeah. I mean, really, I mean, it's just you got to take yourself to school, and instead of spending however much it costs to go to an upholstery school, you just do something over and over until you know you got it right for a customer.
Sure.
You know,
And I don't know, Spanky. There's not too many people who can do it just on their own like that. I mean, again, you're missing the part where not everybody can do what you do. I'm just saying, like,
it's passion.
It is passion, man. But at the same time, I think it as driven as I am about certain things, I think that you still need to learn from somebody. And you're like, in some cases, you might have watched some tutorial videos, and that's why maybe the correlation of what you're doing now with teaching, you probably learned some stuff like that at some point in time, you know, from somebody
YouTube
watching.
Just came out for me.
Right, but I mean, watching it from someone else, like you probably seen enough of it to where you could kind of go, well, I think I understand the basic principles here. Now I just got to go figure out how to make it work for me, you know, and you probably do it a little different. You know what I mean? And it's probably like you got your own little touch on your stitching and everything, you know, because I mean, I don't know. My grandmother was a sewer, and her and the neighbor's sewing was 2 different things. You know what I mean? So I think it comes down to like it's something that's inside you to perfect all these little skills you have to like let it translate into the vehicle. Because I'll be honest with you, when I first met you, I didn't know you built them like you built them. Like I thought you did the body work, you know, because most people, that's what they do, the body work and the motor and maybe the paint, you know. Interior is a no zone, you know what I mean? Because it's so intricate, and to get it to go on the old frames of the seats, you got to strip them down, build them back. So, there's a lot of work behind all that. There's not many upholstery guys doing old school stuff, So now the popular thing is like these Snowden seats and things you put in there, which are really cool. They make things look really modern. So when you go in and build them now, do you go with kind of like what's trendy? Like you try to build the seats according to what they look like back when they were made? Is that kind of what you do?
My style is timeless on everything.
Sure.
So if you build a 69 Camaro and you open the door and it looks like a Lexus inside,
that ain't right.
That's not me.
Yeah, that's right.
It's going to look like a 69 Camaro. It might be smoother. It might have
a little better cushioning.
Plastic replaced with some, real
leather.
Yeah. I mean, just it's going to look timeless, but modern.
Yeah.
But it's never going to go out of style or I did my job wrong.
Yeah, it's going to look like it.
That's not like every builder.
No,
that's
everybody's a little different. Again, it goes back to, every builder has their own little vision on what it should be and how they build it. Like these resto mods, like everybody's different on those. Right. You know what I mean? Like what works for one don't work for all, and that's why there's so many different types of vehicles. I mean, I'm not crazy about 72 Mavericks, but I guess what? Somebody is nuts about them. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And somebody's building them all the time, I'm sure. But like, you can appreciate, even though you're not crazy about them. If they do it right, you can appreciate it.
Exactly.
A great deal. And it makes it beautiful. It makes it amazing because they put their hands. You're like, I think the craziest thing I seen not too long ago, somebody had like a 80 Ford Fairlane or a Fairmount. Or whatever, what I'm talking about, like a little 4-door, 6-cylinder, 4-cylinder. My grandparents had one. Somebody had that thing like a race car, man, like set up like a race car. And I didn't understand it. He goes, "Oh yeah, it's the same body it's the same frame as the Fox body Mustang. It's all built from that." And I'm like, "What?" So, but they didn't care what it looked like. They just liked it because it was lightweight and it'd run fast. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So then I had a new appreciation for my grandpa's piece of junk, that I grew up with. So I didn't realize we was dealing with a very underpowered Mustang. That's kind of what we was dealing with. I think they were all underpowered during that time anyway. So like 4 bangers and stuff. But I think the uniqueness of what I see, and not just you, but others, like when I see them, I'm just like, man, that's their special little touch, like that's their vision, like our friends, like Highlanders, like that one truck they have, the way they got the pipes out the side of the panels. I love that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's unique to them.
Right.
What they did. Shout out to Johnny and Craig, by the way.
That's right.
They're awesome guys. Again, couldn't do what I do without them. They've been amazing. Bill Russell, he's my dear, dear friend. But I mean, they all have these unique vehicles. That's what makes rotting. We'll get into that a little bit. Spanky you probably belong to a couple of car clubs, but the Memphis Street Rodders.
Memphis Street Rodders.
It's a big one. Yeah. And they kind of adopted me a little bit this year. And I'm so thankful for that, by the way, for all you that ever watch the show, man. I can't tell you how much I appreciate, and then, there's other groups too, the Delta Street Rodders, or, and all that stuff. American, I think,
the American Muscle Car Club. I started that club.
Did you?
Me and my son started it.
Very cool. Very cool.
Back probably in 1990.
Very cool. Yeah. And Clarence is in the charge of that now, right?
He is. Yeah.
I
stepped aside probably the 3rd year and said that, somebody needs to be president.
Yeah.
So then another buddy of mine was president, and he moved off. And when he moved off, we put Clarence in charge, and he's been in charge ever since.
Clarence is an awesome person.
It started out with me and my son the first cruise night at Sonic on Goodman Road.
Oh, wow.
And then my best friend and his son came, so there was 4 of us. And then there were 6 of us. And then I was like, we got to start a car club.
Very cool.
And that's how it all started. Then we started having monthly meetings, and
that's amazing.
And it's still going. I'm really proud of that. But
that's awesome, man. I didn't know that. And that's a good little tidbit. Most people probably don't. I bet you some of the folks in the Street Rodders don't even know that about you.
Yeah, probably don't. I mean, don't. I don't.
But they do now.
Yeah,
I don't watch the show.
I don't talk much about myself.
I know it. Well, you're busy. You're thinking, but I know you show up to all the meetings, and you're real good about that stuff. And I know they're proud to have you be a part of it as well.
As long as they don't ask me to be president.
Oh my God, I don't even know. Like Johnny does an amazing job.
He does.
He Johnny Highlander is who we're talking about, and this guy may be the best person they could have ever gotten to do that.
Yep.
Because he's just. he's good with everybody. You know what I mean? And they put on a great show this year, by the way, just so I can announce it. And I don't think you would mind this.
No.
The Memphis Street Riders yearly big car show is going to be at the Landers Center this year.
In September.
I think it was 23rd, 24th, somewhere in that range.
Oh, I know, but if I say it's wrong.
We go look it up at Memphis Street Riders on Facebook. They absolutely put on the best show ever. I bet there's going to be 1,000 cars there this year.
Hopefully more.
I would think so too. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, and we're going to try some new things. We're getting back into the kid-friendly, family-friendly atmosphere. I've got some things working. Yeah, but I got to make sure the insurance is covered.
Oh man,
and stuff
I know
like
it's
that.
a big deal. Yeah, I mean my little shows I do, it's all a nightmare just trying to put it together. It's a lot of work, takes a lot of people.
Right.
One of the things that Bill always talks about is, and you know this, I mean, you're definitely on the younger side of the street riders.
Yeah, I am. That's hard. That's bad to say, but I think our average age is in the 80s.
Yeah.
And, we've got like, there may be 90 members on the
active
docket,
board.
But there's probably 65 that show up at meetings.
Yeah, man, that's I've been a couple times and y'all been so gracious to let me come in and speak a moment about our preface. And man, everybody shows up. These old guys I say old guys. You are old guys. Hell, I feel old.
But we're all teenagers.
All teenagers at heart, because in your mind, you're still 25 working on that hot rod. And that's what I love about it. It's community, man. Like everybody in there is so friendly. They're working together. They're talking about each other's projects. And even if they're not personally, they may not like each other, they still respect one another. You know what I mean? Because there's probably a little competition here and there, Hey guys, I want to talk to you about my primary sponsor, RoofWorks Roofing Company. Reach out to them today at 662-303-0345 for all your roofing needs. They're a great company, great people, and they will back their work up. RoofWorksMidSouth.com. And if you're looking for a new employment opportunity, they're currently looking for new salespeople as business has really picked up after these storms. So give them a shout out again at 662-303-0345 or RoofWorksMidSouth.com. There's some people that's a member of all those clubs we talked about. Like they literally, that's what they do. You know what I mean?
Club hop. I mean, they're not the club hop.
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, not the bad kind of club hop.
Not the bad kind. They literally, like Keith Johnson, I know that he just loves car culture. And he wants to be at every meeting. And he's on the younger side. I would say he's one of the younger guys in there. He's probably roughly mine and your age, somewhere in that range, in between us. And great guy, maybe one of the best human beings. Him and his kids are great people, his wife, everybody. I know his brother real well. They're good people as well. And brothers, I should say. And but there again, that's an example of where he's a younger guy and he's out there helping at every show. He's trying to help. I mean, he really does a good job.
He does.
I can see him maybe someday taking lead on something like that.
He should. Yeah. He was one of my guys on the American Muscle Car Club.
Absolutely.
He's still there.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like he's not just Memphis Street Riders. He shows up to that, and then he's at the American Muscle Car guys. And I mean, he probably belongs to the Delta guys. I don't know. Truth be known. So, and then he goes up to downtown Memphis. A lot of shows. I mean, him and his wife, they just love that. And his kids are ate up with it too. Like Kiefer, he's this guy's working and selling hot. I mean, he's just like hustling all the time, and he works full time. Got a daughter, beautiful daughter. It just amazes me, like when it gets the bug in the family, like your son, right? So has he got the bug like you got?
He does, but I mean, he's raising a family now.
Yeah, it's hard.
And and his son has got the bug. So we're fixing to start him a car, just like we did my son.
So we talk about the family generational stuff, and you and I, one of the things I was watching a while ago, the Neals, I had them on my show, right? Ricky and Michael Neal, and they are hot rodders, right?
Right.
But Ricky Neal may be one of the best paint guys in the whole game, right?
Yeah.
So we'd agree with that part of it. Like, he knows how to do about everything. I mean, gold leafing, just old school stuff. Like, nobody teaches this stuff anymore.
He's definitely an old school
Absolutely.
Rodder,
and again, probably in his last year or two of really kind of doing that stuff, you know.
I think he's pretty much retired. I think
so too. Yeah. And, but he has dedication, more energy than most 25-year-olds. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. And he suffers from some things. Like, he's got some things that restrict him, and he's trying to get it all done before he loses that. I know that's what he is. But again, you were doing something for them that nobody else does. You're kind of an expert louver guy. Everybody brings the louver jobs to you. And if people don't know what I'm talking about, you're punching metal, and it's for sometimes aesthetics, sometimes it's actual practical airflow.
Right.
You know,
you got to let the heat out.
You got to let the heat out, or get the air in. One of the two.
Yeah, I mean, but for the yeah, it's aesthetics. It brings back the old feeling. But yeah, I mean that's part of Spanky's. But it's
you're one of the few guys.
Hot Rod Louvers by Spanky. Yeah, that's its own separate little entity.
Is it?
But
okay.
But it's it's part of Spanky's. So
I love
Hot Rod Louvers by Spanky. So.
When I first got into loving cars, I mean I just remember some of the old hot rods on the movies, and they had louvers.
Every car, I think every car should have a louver.
I think so too. At least one.
I mean, honestly. Just about every car I build has got a louver in it.
At least one.
And it could be something that you don't see that's functional, or it could be aesthetics.
Yeah. I think they're really good. Like it just throws a different body line. It really does.
I mean, I've caught some grief. So the Porsche I'm building is it's a hot rod, and it's my personality. So there's a panel in the back where the muffler goes up against it, and if you're a Porsche guy, that's an expensive piece.
Sure.
But mine was bent and twisted and had been pulled up on a wrecker a few times probably over the years.
Yeah.
So I hammered it all back out, and I could have slicked it out and painted it, but I looked at it and it was leaned up against the louver press.
Yeah.
What did I do?
Put a louver on it.
I put louvers in it. And man, on YouTube, I caught so much flack because they said I ruined the piece.
Yeah.
I said, no, I didn't. I made it mine.
You customized it for you. That's it. And it's going to be a one of a kind at that point in time. So, but I mean, they do have a purpose, like I said, like letting their heat out. Sometimes it's catching air, like from the other direction when you reverse them.
Right.
Then they become like a cowl, if you will. That's what they call a cowl. Instead of a louver, it's a cowl, and that's where they take air in. But again, they all have a purpose. When you punch holes in body panels, it's kind of what we're talking about for the people that don't know. But it's done correctly. It has to be very, very expertly done. It's not just like you go over there and punch it with a center punch. This thing is a machine, and you have to press it to where, and it's all within millimeters. Have to be
lined up.
Oh
and
my
everything.
goodness, yeah. And I remember back in high school, I had a buddy of mine that wound up having. He had a 55 C10 or a B210. Is that right?
Yeah,
B210. No. Chevrolet 55 Chevy B210. Is that what it's called?
Oh, the 210.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. And he had louvers. It was the first time I'd ever had a buddy that built a car and had that on it. This is late 80s, right? And he had a 66 Chevelle as well. And both of them louvers. So I think his dad came from an era to where that was what they did.
Right.
High-end cars now. Like these are not junk, cheap little project cars. His dad was like you. He was like very, very into like building custom vehicles. So I just fell in love with that. And I'm like, on my junky Camaro, I need louvers. That's what I started thinking. So when I saw that, man, I was like, yeah, man, that's like the movies, man. You just didn't see that every day out on the streets,
So you want to take the hood off the Jeep before I leave?
Let's do the louvers. I think it'd look great. Yeah, I think it really would. I mean, I don't think it'd ever go wrong with louvers.
We might sell more tickets.
Probably. They're like, that's a louvered up Jeep. Yeah. I think you can put them on anything. I don't give a damn what kind of car it is. I really think they look good on them. At least a couple, and they have to be lined out right and I guess arranged properly because it's not just like punch a couple in there. I mean, they need to look right with the flow of the car.
Right.
Yeah. So especially on the ones like that you drive, and I know Ricky Neal does too, those little those roadsters or whatever.
Yeah, 32 Fords.
Right. Yeah. The sides are really cool.
Yeah.
When they put those in there, and it is probably more than aesthetics. It's probably releasing heat out of those little engine bays,
Right.
Yeah.
And those are factory on those cars.
Are they?
Yeah.
Back in the day, that's where they came from.
Yeah. Because you had to let the heat out.
And that's unbelievable that was a factory decision back then, and you just don't think about it. But then if you go back and look at a lot of the tractors, louvers.
Yeah.
They had them.
Yep.
This in a different way, and then you put it on, like, what if it worked for that tractor combination? Let's try it on these old hot rods. They didn't know those things were hot rods. They had no clue people were going to do what they had. They had no clue. Those were like just little sport cars, and they're wise, like two people could ride in them or something.
That's right.
It was an economy car. That's what they were for the time. So if you got beyond that, then you're getting into like big 4-door Chevrolet or Cadillac. Those big monster cars. Do you ever build any of those?
No, it's
from the 30s or 20s.
Yeah, I don't do any restorations, and those cars would need to be restored, like Rolls and Jags and stuff like that. Now, if I did it, it wouldn't be restored. It would be built. Yeah, it would be. I would find the flaws that somebody did that went against what I designed. And, and I would, and that's what I do. I mean, I find this stuff.
Well, you put Spanky's touch on it, man. That's what it is, and then you find the flaws, you make them better. Like the cars themselves, the problems they had. And I think most builders try to do that. But you all have like your specific ways of doing it, and it's something that's how you learned. And that's what got, that's what you like.
It's what we like. Yeah. And it's our passion. So we put that into our builds.
Yeah. So one more time before we keep it going on to other subjects, we're going to go to Spanky's Hot Rods. .com is the website, and then also YouTube, Spanky's Hot Rods and Customs. That's what you're looking for on YouTube and Facebook, by the way. And then Mike Cooper on Facebook. So I'm sure if you send him a friend request, he'd probably work with you a little bit.
That's right.
Yeah, because he's really about just teaching. I know that. We go back to that topic again about, and I just found myself looking after video after video after video. You're doing real well. They're edited. They move quickly. They're not a lag on. I know we watch some stuff real good, and I was teasing my producer here before the show about I'm gonna start filming at your place. You can edit my shows, and he just like whoa. Yeah. So no, I'm just joking, Derek, but I'm serious now. Spanky, he loves cars. I may have a spot down there at his place. We can make a media room.
That's right. In there. That's right. We can do it.
Yeah, we can do it. Now is going forward. Let's say in the next. This is 2026. We're in March, getting ready to be April. What is your plans? And I know you spend a lot of time on the coast, and we'll talk about that a little bit before we get out of here. But you love the ocean, clearly.
Yeah.
And I know you ride down there more than I would probably. I mean, dude, I bet I haven't been down there 3 times in the past 15 years, and you've been there 3 times this month. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you drive back and forth. Sometimes you drive, like you'll drive one of your cars down there, right?
I keep some down there.
Yeah. Talk about it.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I keep some stuff down there to where, I'm in a club down there.
Okay.
So we hang out and have cruise-ins and car shows down there. So I've got a YouTube friend that's got a channel that's over in right outside of Milton, Florida, or Crestview, Florida. So, I went over there this weekend. So I went and picked up a car.
Yeah.
And then went by his place and helped him on his car for a YouTube channel.
Very cool.
Then came back, delivered that car.
So you're busy down there.
Yeah, and then went to a cruise-in, which is probably one of the coolest cruise-ins.
Was that at the burger joint?
Yeah, Randy's.
Yeah, Randy's Burgers. Yeah.
But some buddies of mine got a little car club called Wasting Gas.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, so they've got a Facebook group and YouTube channel. So you
go follow them. Go check them out, guys, if you're listening. I picked up on that. They got that cool little truck that's logoed up for their car club,
and man, it's really a neat group of guys. So I've got another set of friends there.
And you got a ton of them here, so I know that it's like and like I said,
I never meet a stranger.
And would you agree, like the culture's getting bigger and bigger? We're having more and more opportunities here for cruising and car shows. Like it seems like it's growing a lot. Like more and more people are getting together, and even though it's not an organized car show, but like the cruise ins at different spots during the week, like on a Tuesday night, it might be at a donut shop or whatever the place may be. Right. I know we meet a lot of us, not just me, I'm just going to say the car culture guys, but at Silo on Getwell,
right.
On Thursday nights. Yeah, every Thursday nights, and it's not a club thing. This is just like, if you got a car, come on, chill out.
We don't care what it is. It's more, it's all about the people, not the car.
That's right.
The car's a bonus. That's what I look at it.
People admire it. Sometimes you can learn, you can ask questions from these guys like Spanky for sure. And then like the people I talked about on the show, almost all of them are there. At that time. I know the Highlanders, they never miss one,
That's right.
And they could tell you how they did it. Not necessarily that you need to do it that way, but they can just tell you how they did it, so it's advice coming from somebody that's put their hands on their stuff,
right.
I would have to buy mine at this point. I don't think I have the time or the knowledge to build one, and there's no shame in that.
If you watch my channel, that's one of the very first things that I try to teach somebody. If you're looking to get in the hobby, it is way more beneficial to buy a car. If a customer comes to me and they want their car built, the first thing I ask them, was it your mom's car, your dad's car, your grandmother's car? what is it? Your car from high school?
Yeah,
because if no is to all those, and you just want to go pick a car, have it built, you're going to the dance the wrong way because it's going to cost you 3 times the money to have me build it than it would be for you to go buy a really nice one.
They don't understand that. Like part of the time, like when you buy a vehicle, it depends on the stage where it's at or how old it is. Like if it's somebody's building vehicles just to sell them, like there's that game too, right? So they're doing quick turnarounds on hot rods, doing a pretty good job of them, but overall, they're just trying to make money on them, But a lot of times you'll find something where somebody's like, I've had it for a while, I've got all my fun out of it, it's time to move on to something new. That's the guy you want because he understands he'll never get off his money back from that car. It was a passion. It was a hobby, and then he's going to let it go to have somebody else enjoy it. And those are the hard ones to find, but that's the ones you want.
Right.
Because the car was done right, most likely, and it's been maintained at the highest of levels. I'm talking about this guy's baby, this thing. He's just ready to move on. Or maybe the family he's passed on, it's time to get rid of them, that kind of thing. Those are how to find them. To build one is extremely expensive.
Yeah, you can buy a really nice car for what it would cost you less than what it would cost you to have one painted.
Yeah, for sure.
By somebody like,
you, Ronnie, Ricky, any of those guys.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. A paint job is probably going to start in the 20s.
Yeah.
And it's going to go up to 50.
Oh, man.
Upholstery job is going to start in the 20s. And I've got the friend that did that wagon that I learned from. This is not an error in the video. $100,000 is where they start on the upholstery job down in Florida right now. Man. And they're lined up. Yeah. But you open the door.
Oh, you see it.
It's 3D printed.
And
the leathers are perforated in a certain design.
Oh, it's
so that's what you do on $1 million car.
Yeah.
Not something,
And by the way, they're not trying to sell these cars. These are personal, like maybe someday. But when they're building these cars, it's typically for a customer that has a vision, what they want. And then you turn it into reality for them. Maybe not you, but like the builder, whoever, to a point to where it's like if they don't have a limit on money, then the sky's the limit, Right.
So I've done plenty of those. Those are kind of high stress because usually the guy with the money is tighter at letting it go.
It is that way. Yeah. Like, is it wasteful, or you got to convince them, like, man, this is going to be here forever. Yeah. Like we're not going to be redoing this in 10 years because it's dated or it's peeling or any of that stuff, like that's what the difference is, like I got my old Ford out there. It's resting on top of the roof. My son said something the other day, your Ford pickup's resting on the roof. I'm like, yeah, it's a shitty paint job from Ford. You're not getting this from these guys. Like it's multi-layers. It's high gloss, clear coated. It's going to last for a long, long time. And it's not going to be dated.
We hope.
Well, I think it will.
Yeah.
I think it will.
We hope.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like there's paint jobs you did that's 25, 30 years old. It's still looking pretty good.
Yeah, the one on my Chevelle, it's probably 45 years old.
Yeah. So that speaks volumes.
Well, it's probably got some issues, but...
little chips and stuff, but like it ain't cracking or any of that stuff. The stuff, what I'm talking about. Like when I tell people bad paint jobs is where they've used a lot of body filler and over time it shrinks or the road bumps or whatever crack it or whatever, and then you see the lines. That's the stuff I'm talking about. So that's the difference in halfway doing it and doing it all the way. That's a quick way to do it anyway. So, and there's a lot of body filler in brand new cars. That's the crazy part. People don't even realize that, And what do you think about leading?
And that's an art all by itself.
That's what I thought too.
Plus, I look at it and it still scares me to think that I'm melting lead.
Yeah.
So, but the new stuff that you buy is not really lead.
Not like it used to be.
But it's still kind of scary because there's still fumes coming off of it.
Right. It's kind of like old school, like the soldering. I talk about that sometimes with people. It's like, the difference in leading. I had Mike Abbott on, and he does, like, he's pretty much the guy that, like, he's not a painter, but like he gets everything
ready for the next
stage.
Right?
Yeah. Some people just want to leave it like that, and it turns into like a rat rod or something cool like that. But like their metal, he's all about straight custom pieces, like they're building everything fabrication. But what I was talking about that with him was like he learned from one of the old school guys that taught leading. He's like 90s and he's teaching a leading class, and he said, man, there ain't many of them guys left, to where they can even teach it and pass it on. So the old way, You know, they're using wooden paddles and stuff, you know, and it's pretty wild.
I've got it and I've used it, but, you know, I probably use the higher end plastic stuff, you know, like 97% of the time.
Really? Yeah. Just avoid that process a little bit. Yeah. Because it is real work, you know, and it can be messy and dangerous.
It's work, time consuming, and, it's probably got some health risks.
You know? No doubt, man. Like you need to have a gas mask on or something, you know. So, but back in the day, they didn't know. You know what I mean? They were just building cars, you know, and trying to fill in
some of those guys are 100 now, you know, so it could have been too bad, right?
If it, that guy that taught that class, he said he was in his 90s or whatever.
Gene Winfield. He just, he just passed. He was right at 100.
Oh, wow, man. Sorry to hear that. I mean, that's a lot of history and knowledge that passed, but he did pass. He was a teacher again, you know.
Right.
Yeah, so he wanted to give back while he was still alive. I mean, he was teaching right up to the end about, you know.
Right.
So that's pretty incredible when you think about it.
That's
Spanky,
right.
that could be you.
It could be me. Well, I mean, I hope I can live that long.
Man, me too. I'm just trying to get to tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, do you ever think that way? Like, hey, man, I got another day. You know what I mean?
I do.
And when I hear about people like Bill and Johnny and them, it's like 80. You know, by the way, Johnny, for a guy that's had some hip surgery, he looks great. It's always tan, like he just came back from the beach, you know.
Big golfer, I think.
Big golfer, yeah. And but man, I mean, they're living the life, you know. Like I guess that's where it's supposed to be. Mr. Bill, you know, like I've never met a guy that's busier than him. That dude's always working on something at his house, and I'm like, do you ever get tired? Well, if you lay down, Neil, you know, that's kind of his thing, you know. Like you'll stay down if you lay down, so they just stay busy. But like, when you think about the knowledge that they've learned through the years, you know, Ricky Neal talked about living across the street or going to school and coming out the door and seeing this guy working on his car. Did you watch that episode with him?
Yeah.
And he was talking about, it was Bill Russell. And he didn't know him, you know what I mean? But he was out there hot rodding, you know, and his Bill was probably in his, like, probably late 20s or early 30s with his own family, and he was just in high school, you know?
Right.
It's really cool that all kind of like, gets handed down like that.
Yeah, or you know, you take
inspiration.
Take a kid to a car show.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, that's what happened to me.
Yeah. So your dad took you?
No, I didn't have a dad. So I spent the night with a friend in 5th grade, and the Memphis Street Rods had their very first event at the fairgrounds in Memphis.
Very cool.
And he didn't have enough money to take us, so we set out on Central Avenue and watched them go by. And then the next day when he got off work, he took us and let us stand at the gate and watch them come in and out. And it was probably the same guys that we were talking about that are in their 80s.
Yeah.
Were there then.
Yeah.
And there I was just a kid. Yeah. And I knew right then that that's where the passion hit, right then.
Something just grabbed you and triggered you. You know, like, man, when I get a point in time in my life, that's what I'm doing.
I'll work my way to buying that first car and starting to do it.
So real quickly, before we get too far away from that brings us back to the point, like, where did it start for you? Like, did you start doing this in high school and it's like, this is what you did forever? Did you have a real job for a long, no, I don't say it's not work. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like a very 9 to 5, or did you have like a job like that for a long time before you were able to start building custom cars?
I did. And it all started, I guess, that night when we went to that car show, and I was probably 5th grade, 6th grade.
Yeah.
And then fast forward to high school, and, you know, I got that first car, which was a 71 Nova, identical to the one that me and my son built him, but I only had it for a couple of months, and I worked at Baskin Robbins making $1.50 an hour, and I watched
big money.
I watched it drive off.
Somebody stole it.
Good
Lord.
So
even back in the day, Memphis was terrible.
Well, they stole my car, a 69 Camaro, and a 280Z.
Right out of the same parking lot.
Eastgate Shopping Center, yeah.
Man, so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, it was
never found it.
No, and I had everything, every tape, every cassette tape, all my tools, all my favorite stuff was in the trunk because that was my prized possession. So I kept all my other stuff in there.
Yeah. So what year was this? Probably like
that would have been probably 80-ish.
Yeah.
You know, somewhere 80, 81.
Yeah. So the car wasn't like super old at that point in time.
No, it wasn't. I bought it from the original.
But y'all had enough. You know, this is what's crazy when you look back at this a little bit. Like, even in the 70s, like late 70s, I knew a 67 Camaro was badass opposed to a 77 Camaro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there was something about that time period there, late 60s, early 70s, all those just amazing muscle cars and stuff that even then you knew they were special because they stopped making them. like all of a sudden, it went to like these smog control vehicles and everything. Yeah. They just changed the looks of the cars. Like it was just nuts what a Chevelle turned into in like 1975 or whatever. So you had, even in 80, you realized the 70 Nova was so cool. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it was the fact that that's what I could afford. That was the coolest car.
Well, they weren't crazy yet. Like the prices weren't crazy.
I mean,
yet.
I paid 12. He wanted $1,500, and I got him down to $1,250.
Unbelievable.
And that was 3 summers worth of working. For me.
For $1 an hour.
Well, no, I mean, actually, before then, I was 15 when that happened. I had a hardship license that I could drive when I was 15. So that was cutting grass money. That was
everything.
Now, I used to I used to find a bicycle on the side of the road that was in a dump, put new tires on it from Western Auto, and sell it for $5. Flipping bicycles. And that's how
you were a hustler, Spanky.
I always been, trying to hustle a little bit here and there. I mean, didn't have any money other than that. So. Yeah,
well, you grew up with very humble beginnings. So, and now it makes you thrive and work harder.
That's right.
I mean, you probably don't ever forget that. Some people forget it. Like they do, and they forget where they came from. But I don't think you did, because like when you can remember those stories so vividly, it's right. Well, you don't want to go back there.
Another little drop. I've been writing a book.
Have you really?
Yeah. So it's finished and it's being published and all that. So I get to throw that out there. I wasn't gonna do it, but
let's do it, man. What's it called?
I'll have all that information.
Oh, you don't want to leak it here.
Yeah.
He leaked it, but listen, you got to go to Spanky's YouTube page and his Facebook page, Spanky'sHotRods.com. He'll probably be telling you about a damn book here pretty quick.
Yeah, it's probably going to be another month or two. But
it's going to be called
Built, Not Bought. Just like we were talking about cars.
Yeah.
It's kind of a catchy thing, and it's really car themed.
And life things,
and it's my beginnings.
Yeah, So when it comes out, you come back, do the show. We'll do another just a rundown on the book. We'll talk a little bit about the snippets of the things. I mean, I didn't even know that. You didn't even tell me that. Spanky.
Yeah, I do not talk much about myself.
If you're writing a book, you got to be thinking about yourself. So
I know it.
Did you use a local person?
Yeah, that's where it is now. It's not like it's being printed.
Right.
It's being. The manuscript is there, and it's the memoirs, and
they're putting it together for you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're proofreading and run on sentences and hey, dude, I'm not a book writer.
No, dude, you probably graduated from some high school,
Memphis City School.
Yeah, okay,
buddy.
so
and my senior year, I was out by 11:15 at work, and I worked 8 hours a day.
Man, unbelievable. So probably wasn't the best at spelling in English. None of us
man.
are.
I mean, I was that. I wasn't like
I
my
barely
kids.
Made it out of high school.
Yeah, my son and daughter did great in school, and I a B was great. That was probably gym.
Gym class.
Yeah. And then it would have been an A had I showed up.
Yeah. Dude, I ain't lying to you. I think I missed more than half of my senior year just by ditching and running and having fun. So I understand where you're coming from. My brother, on the other hand, man, he was studious, went to college, did all that stuff. We're just a different. I don't know what's different about us, but we were very close. But we had different ideas about life.
I know it.
It's kind of funny. And we both loved cars, but I just was more like, man, that college stuff ain't for me. You know what I mean?
I did try.
Did you?
The college deal. My mom wanted me to go, so I went to State Tech.
Yeah.
And I think I went to one semester. I don't even know if I got through the semester, but I knew my mom was having to struggle to pay.
So you had to make it happen.
And she wanted me to go. Yeah. So I did. But that time I was dating my soon-to-be wife, and she would come by at night because it was night school.
Yeah,
and we'd go get some Shoney's or something down the street.
Sure.
And then I might not get back to the second half. And before you know it, I just said, "Mom, look, I'm going to drop out of this."
Did it break her heart?
No, I don't think it did, because she knew that I was going to land on my feet.
Sure. She had faith in you.
At that time, I was. I was working at Easy Way Food Produce, and that's where I met my wife.
Okay.
And she was a cashier, and I was the guy putting the apples out.
Very cool, man. Humble beginnings.
Yeah,
man.
but that's where we met.
Yeah.
We both went our separate ways. I went to RHS Speed Shop, Racing Head Service on Summer Avenue.
Okay.
and which is part of Comp Cams was in a small little corner, and now that's reversed. Comp Cams is huge, and RHS is in a small little corner, but that's where the car deal
started for you.
Well, not started. I was already there, but that's where I landed, and then it's been automotive ever since. So I went from there to the tire business, and we opened up a wholesale tire company, my wife and I, and then we sold it. You know, but that's how that was just a real speed part of the.
Well, so since then, it's all been automobiles in some capacity.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when all of my delivery drivers / salesmen would leave the warehouse in Olive Branch, I stayed around, answered the phone, called the customers for the next day while I was in the corner of the shop building a car.
Right.
And that was my son's Nova.
Cool.
So by the time I got his Nova, him and I got his Nova finished, I'd sold my business, and then that car led to
just kind of took off from there.
And then I moved to Heber Springs, Arkansas, when the kids went to college, which was just a year or two after we sold the business. And when I got to Heber, within 2 years, I probably had 12 cars to build. And another 4 years, I had 20 to build.
Wow.
And when I ended up selling that portion of my business to an employee, I had right at 47 cars in the building, all, full, complete customs.
Sure.
And there was probably 9 or 10 customers that I had that I wouldn't let anybody else touch. I wanted to be, like I said, the guy that signed his name at the end of the picture, at the bottom of the picture. If I needed help putting a hood on, they'd come help me put a hood on.
That was it, though.
But so I had all these customers that were there because of the employees, and the employees were there because of those customers. And I appreciate every employee I had and every customer I've ever had. But though that combination was killing me. The stress of dealing with employees.
Man.
Then I was having to deal with customers that they saw what I was doing over here, and they wanted to know, how come my paint didn't get wet sanded and buffed?
Right.
And I'm like, well, you got a really, really nice paint job out of a gun,
sure.
and you paid for that. I was like, but if you wanted this, it's going to cost this. Well, I ain't got that much in my whole car. Right. And I was like, well, that's why.
It's labor, man. It's labor intense.
So I kind of got rid of the customers and the employees at the same time by selling one of my employees. The business and the customers without my name.
Right.
So I kept my name. I kept that core group of customers that I had before the employees came and before I even got to it.
They wanted just your work.
Right.
They didn't want a assembly line. I was trying to get to that earlier. It kind of becomes like that when you get a bunch of employees. I know that they all have specific jobs, and you can walk around and nothing gets done without your approval. Probably to a lot of level of that, but it ain't your hands on it. You know what I mean? So it's a big difference. And for some people, that's okay. But where you thrived was working on these cars. It's your personality, it's your hands, it's all that stuff from tuning the motor to everything, right? So making the seats, and that's so unique. I mean, I know there's people doing it, but it's just not that many folks doing it.
Right.
Especially to the caliber of what you're doing, just by the way. I know that, just from looking around. I'm looking at everything when I go to these shows, and there's some amazing vehicles out there that you think, boy, who built this? I don't know. They bought it. They brought it. I don't know. You don't know where the story is behind it. That to me is as important as the vehicle, as the guy who built it. We talk about that all the time. But buddies, the guy's amazing that owns it. But if he did not build it, then you want to know who did that work, immediately. And, and most people are not ashamed of that. It's in a car culture, like, oh man, so-and-so built this car. You remember him? He built that. You're like, and I'm just proud to own this thing. You know what I mean? And then there's a few people it's like, oh man, well, he built some of it, but there's those guys. That's not true. At the end of the day, you got to give credit where credit's due. And that's what I love about what y'all do, and especially in the Street Riders, because all of you, there's quite a few guys that buy their cars and get involved in stuff, but there's a lot of people work on their own stuff that's in there. Some of them have passed on recently. In the last couple of years, you've lost some real legends in that club.
Legends, yeah.
Real legends. And we can talk about them a little bit, but we'd spend all day trying to kind of go down the list of the amazing ones. But probably the biggest names, George Poteet. And this guy was a legend just a complete legend, right? Yeah. So, and he inspired so many of y'all, right?
Yeah, so, he got a lot of us got our start doing work for him.
Yeah.
So
he was a guy that hit a good lick, worked hard, and man, he wanted all of his buddies to enjoy it. That's so unusual that you find a guy like that, because like if they were going hot rodding, he was going to the Bonneville Salt Flats or wherever it is, he took people with him, his buddies.
I drove a truck with 2 cars in it.
Did you really?
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
And and like I drove a truck pulling 2 cars out there with him for years, but he would have people fly in and he would pay the ticket for them to fly in just to drive a car.
Amazing. Yeah. Super wealthy. I had stories about people. It was like, he didn't know me, man, but he knew I was in the car. So he wanted to like pass this on to me. Like he had helped me with a part. Like, hey, man, come by my shop, Holly Springs, right? Mm-hmm. Wasn't just real close, by the way. So like if you lived in South Memphis or somewhere and you were Mississippi, DeSoto County, that was not just right up the road, because that was before like 69.
Right,
and all that stuff. So it was quite a track down there, probably across there. But you get down there and he's able to give you a piece that you need or something because he's got all these parts. Yeah. I've heard that story before. I just wished I'd have known him. I really do. Because just from a standpoint, I could interview him and get his mind where like, where did all this like desire come from? Was it because you had this unlimited amount of money you could just put at it, and he was just living a dream? I don't know, man.
Yeah, if he was on your show, you definitely have to pull everything out of him because
he wasn't a big talker about himself.
He was not going to talk about himself.
But what a story!
I was with him the week. I was doing work for him, and I was down there just a few days before he passed.
Yeah, and he lived a good age. He was the same age as. He was a little older than Highlander and him, right? Was he?
No, he was actually in his mid to late 70s.
Okay, so right about that same age.
Right.
Yeah, because he's only been gone for a couple of years.
Right.
Yeah. I think maybe a year and a half ago. Maybe something like that. That summer, my mom, him, I know another buddy, what's his name? Man, I think of their names now. That guy actually works for Mike Abbott, his dad.
Tommy,
yeah.
Born.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his dad. They were all big buddies, and they all died within just days of each other, and which was unbelievable, But I associate that summer of 24 on another way because that's when I lost my mom. It was a different time. So, but I do remember just right after that talking to his daughter because I was doing their driveway, oddly enough, just right about the time he passed away. It was right after that. No clue I was going to be doing a truck or any of that stuff. I didn't have a clue about them, their life story, or any of that stuff. And then Bill Russell obviously is great friends with him because they live right up the road. And of course, the Neils know him. Everybody, it's just this culture around here. It's just unbelievable. And it's so rich and entrenched in history. Everybody's like growed up behind these guys because, you're 20 plus years behind these guys, Yeah. And you learn from them, you're inspired by them, know.
Well, I was probably a kid that was following. I was with all the car guys back then.
Yeah.
And we all looked at George. Man,
yeah, inspired.
Yeah, we all grew up together. The guys my age, but he was the father figure to us.
Sure.
Back then.
They wanted to kind of like help you,
right?
And give you some work, let you kind of start making your own way.
I'll tell you my very first George story, and it's probably before any of these guys.
Okay.
My grandmother lived over off of Park Avenue.
Okay.
And that's where the National Street Ride Association building was. And George had a building that he owned over there. And behind the building, he had a metal building where he started his company. He was doing good, but he wasn't like he hadn't
got to that level yet.
So, it had a huge parking lot. It was the only parking lot around there. And I was probably 7, 8 years old, and my brother was a little younger than me, and we had a go-kart that my uncle gave us. So they would set us loose over there, and they could hear the motor running, and us giggling and laughing and doing what we did, taking turns.
Sure.
Well, George and his son were back in the back. He had a 34 Ford back there and a Mustang back there, and we stopped and we went over and looked at his cars and all that. We got back on the go-kart, swapping turns, and the throttle stuck.
Oh shit!
And it was my little brother, and I was running around chasing him and screaming and all that. And George walked out and flipped the spark plug wire off the spark plug and stopped the go-kart and fixed the throttle, and away we went.
Cool.
And little did I know that's who that was.
Later on, you figured
later on, because we'd go over there all the time, and they would always be there. So it was probably, I don't know, I was probably in my early teens, probably 12 or 13, 14, and I went to the Cook Convention Center car show, and there's the Mustang and that 34 Ford there.
Right.
And he remembered me. And matter of fact, the last week he was alive, we were down there, and he had a picture of that Mustang beside that shop. And I said, "You remember the day you fixed my go-kart?" He said, "Yes, Spanky, I remember that."
I remember you almost died out there.
Yeah. So
he probably saved your little brother's life. Yeah.
Well, I thought he did, but you know, my brother probably would have rode through the fence or something.
Well, yeah, he'd have rode it out till it ran out of gas or something. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, those are neat stories, man. Almost everybody has a George story that I talked to.
I got a bunch, but that's the coolest one, I think, because I was just a kid and I knew then that those cars were cool that he had, you know.
Yeah. I think that's and like a real early on guy, like he was into it early.
Oh, he was.
Yeah. It's like a lot of these guys probably want. I mean, but you know, all these guys we talk about from Bill, like being, you know, in his teen years and building a car out in front of his house, and some kid looks up across the road and sees this dude working on this hot rodding.
That's how it starts.
And he, you know, that was Ricky Neal's story. He said that truly inspired him that day when he heard that car humping, and he'd get it up and drive it around, and he's like, "Oh my God, when I get old enough, I'm gonna get one of those things," you know.
Yep, that's why.
And so it was inspired, and Bill didn't even know that. You know, but somebody was watching him, you know what I mean, and emulating him. And again, like probably watching the best guy I know. Like Bill's one of the finest men I've ever met in my life. I wish I'd have known him 20 plus years ago. You've been lucky to have that relationship, you know, and I do, because him and I have gotten really close in the last year or so. And, you know, I do wish, I just wished I had that time. You know what I mean? I really do. And I've heard about him for 20 plus years. Yeah. I just kind of he just reached out to me one day because I was doing some stuff with the program that he's not necessarily tied to, but he was interested in with the Feed My Lamb stuff. And I kind of told him what I was doing. And he's like, "Well, I've been kind of down last couple of years, but I'm ready to get back in it," you know. And then he, sure enough, boy, he was with me. If you noticed, he was with me every time I showed up somewhere.
Every time.
And helping me wipe on that thing, that black gloss. Oh my gosh, man. Those things are so hard to, I don't know if I want another black car, Spanky.
I know it.
Man, and by the way, Gary Sullivan built that car and painted it, and he's amazing at what he does. He did a great job on that vehicle. He does a lot of work I think he's painted and stuff and did some body work. I think Richard Burrow had a hand in it. There's a bunch of guys that had a hand in that vehicle, but that black, so beautiful. But let me tell you something, that is some work, son, because I mean, you could just sit there and get dirty. Like, I mean, the dust, what is the best color not to show dust?
Oh, a light color, you know, like white.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, white's going to show up if you go mud riding.
Yeah. But it ain't going to show all those little specks, man, like red, a real good red, and black, maybe the two worst colors to try to keep clean, man. It is unbelievable. I bet wiped the paint off that thing. No, because Gary had a lot of layers on it. But we were always just I was trying to figure out, how do I keep this thing from getting dusty? I almost bought a car cover for it just to take, you know, and I mean, it was work. And so I don't want I had a black car, and I've had a couple of black vehicles, but I don't think one's ever been that much work to me. You know, but I was trying to showcase it every day. Every time I go somewhere, I was trying to showcase it, make it look pretty. So we hung in there, and I had some good guys too that helped me with that. It wasn't just me. I had others, but damn it, man, that black paint's beautiful, but it is some absolute nightmare to keep it shiny. I mean, oh my God. And if you let water specks get on that thing, you're done. Right. I mean, they're etched in there almost, you know. So what is your favorite color as far as cars go? Are you kind of just all over the board? Or?
It's really funny. Every car, if you just throw a car out there, and you know, I could tell you what color it should be.
Yeah.
And it's not always that trendy color. Like, you know, you think of a certain few cars, and they always get painted that color blue or that color orange.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've got a different color. It's personality of the car.
Yeah.
You know, and so I like the reason that my Roadster's got a color that's my name is because I formulated that color. One was too happy.
Yeah.
One was too sad.
Yeah.
So this orange that I formulated was my mixture that's kind of like right in the middle. Yeah. Just, you know, I didn't want a hugger orange or a grabber orange, and I didn't want, you know, an almost black orange, you know, so I wanted something that was.
Which, by the way, that black orange is beautiful at times. I mean, on the right car, it's pretty amazing. There's some, like the color schemes these days, holy cow, man, they're doing some magic with that stuff, man.
Yeah.
You know, the pearls and stuff. I know it's been around for a long time, but these days it's a little different. There's getting some, I don't know where that comes from. I don't know enough about it. But man, you get some wild looking stuff,
Yeah.
That dreamsicle color, maybe one of my favorites because it's got that flake in it. I mean, that's just a unique color. That orange you're talking about, that's a happy orange. You know what I mean? That is that tangerine or dreamsicle, if you will. I don't know what it is, but I seen it yesterday on a truck in a shop. I was up visiting Spider Off-Road, and they had one in there that they was working on. And I thought, man, this is a beautiful color. It really is. So I thought, man, maybe that's a future color we need to look at for a vehicle. Yeah. Maybe get Spanky to paint it. Probably not, because he's I'm going to be retired by then.
Yeah. So. My color palette on cars that I like, that I paint and build and design, you won't really find much metallic.
Yeah, it's hard.
I'm a solid vintage kind of color.
Yeah.
And that's my personality, and softer colors, so.
Hey man, that's the difference in the art, like we talk about. Some guys are like, I'll just metal flake, the more the better, and gold leafing, and I mean, that's a lost art. Ricky Neal, I mean, he was doing that on their dragster car here recently, and I'm like, he could teach a class on that, I promise you. Yeah. Do you do any gold leafing?
I do, but I mean, but my design, you won't see it on any of my builds unless I build me a cool car
for yourself,
for myself. And I'm looking for that car's looking.
Again, though, that's not as easy as it looks. It's not just like,
well, the gold's going to stick wherever you put the glue.
That's right.
And that's, and you put it on with a brush just like you would painting a letter or something like that. So
sounds simple, but I bet it's not.
No, it's not. I mean,
it's probably not as simple.
Just like the pinstriping and stuff like that. I won't do any pinstriping for anybody really, except for myself, because it takes me 4 hours to get get going.
Right, it takes and I notice he does a bunch of that for their hot rod, but that's their personal drag car.
Yeah, well, I mean, he is that's. He loves pinstriping, and he's really, really good.
Amazing. So, I don't even know if good's a word.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a word. There's a better word out there.
He's amazing. I mean, between the stuff and then it's like, I kept thinking like, okay, it's done. It's done. Right. The car's done. And then next thing you know, well, I had a little time today, so I thought I'd probably, So he tickles me to death, And I'm sure Michael's just like, man, thank God my dad does what he does, because there ain't no way two men could keep up with him. That guy works so fast, and
I know it.
I don't know how he gets all that done.
I really don't either, and I wish I had a little bit of whatever he drinks in the morning, because
man, and he's the perfect height to like work on. I don't know how to explain that, but like a tall guy like me, my back, I'd have to take a break every 10 minutes just to get my back to where it needs to be. But it's like some people are the perfect size for certain work, and I think he is for the. Yeah. I'm not saying he's short. That's all I'm saying. He's just perfectly built. He's strong. He's, and then plus in his 60s now, and just the energy, like you said, man, just that energy to push through to go get it done, and he built some pretty cool stuff. And I know you're glad to call him a friend, and I mean, y'all work off to each other a lot.
And, I mean, I send him work not anymore. He said, I'm done.
Oh, yeah. Both of you are kind of getting in that phase of like, no more projects, like that's it for us.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind helping somebody. I'd rather help somebody for free than take on another project.
That's right. Well, clearly, what you've done has been good to you and your family. It took a lot of years. I'm sure there was some humble times in the beginning, we're like, is this going to work? And then you get stretched out and all that stuff, but it's done well. You're able to build some businesses, sell them, move on, do some other things. So you're doing this now. It's a passion. It's a hobby.
100% passion.
Yeah, it's a hobby. You enjoy it as long as it's not pressure.
Well, I mean, that's my wife would wish that I would have retired a long time ago. But the first thing that I would tell a customer, probably the last 10 or 12 years, is that this is a high pressure business. It's a zero stress zone.
Yeah.
If I stress you, I just need to know where you want me to bring it.
Yeah.
If you stress me, I've got your address.
Yeah.
And we're going to settle this. I mean, I never took any money up front.
Yeah, that's the best.
If anybody's listening and they want a car done, the first few things that the red flags is if they want you to leave them money.
Yeah.
If they can get right on it.
Oh, yeah.
Those two things right there
don't work.
Yeah, those, I mean, a lot of the jobs that I've done, I've probably built 100 plus cars, and a lot of those cars have come from other shops where they got half their car back, none of their deposit, and none of the parts that they bought.
That's another thing. You teach them that on this show about how to be smart about how to approach this game, and that's go back to again, find Spanky's Hot Rods on YouTube, Facebook. Where else did you say you're at?
Yeah. Instagram, TikTok. Man, my God. I keep all that stuff. I don't get
it's a lot of work.
I don't get on a lot of it. But
listen, if I didn't have Derek, it wouldn't get done, because I'm just telling you, I don't have time or the capacity to mess with that stuff. So I know it's a lot of upkeep, and for literally nothing other than a passion.
Right.
If people think we're making money, they're fools. I mean, It's just like I'm telling you, I think the other day they sent some kind of report, and I didn't even ask to be monetized. They just automatically do it to you sometimes, especially on Facebook. I think it's 3 pennies or something like that I earned for the week or something, something wild like that. So just to be clear, these are passions we have. The reason why I do this show is kind of spotlight people like Spanky and other people in the community are giving back. And the way you're giving back is trying to teach your craft to help save people some money and time.
Exactly. And keep the hobby going.
Yeah, keep the hobby going too, because we say it's a dying breed.
Well, if you have to pay somebody to do your work, it will be a dying breed, because
you're never not learning anything.
Our prices are going up because our cost of living is going up.
Sure. And I love the fact that they brought the career techs back into DeSoto County. A few years back. I guess it's been probably 10 years ago now, but there's people learning auto body and stuff, and that's where it starts.
Right.
And the Bubba and Trey Wilburn, those guys, they're really good at that.
I don't. I was asked once, maybe try to come over there and do something, and then I know I'm going over to Marion to ASU and help out, or do a little hot rod tutorial for their automotive class over there.
Sure. I think it'd be great for you to show up and do it, teach. And you probably know everybody has taught that around here, and it is fun. I think if you enjoy that part of it, that's what you need to do, and you're doing it for free. It's what you just enjoy doing, right. So we have passions in life, and sometimes they pay, sometimes they don't, That's right. Yeah. The really fun ones never pay. I can almost promise you that. It's like what you enjoy to do. If you ever hit that, then you're doing something right.
Yeah. The YouTube thing for me, it's for my grandkids to see.
Yeah.
And my kids to see, and my great grandkids, just leaving a footprint for them.
Man, I think about that a lot. When I did the show, somebody mentioned to me one day after we had maybe 10 shows that I did, and they're like, man, what's really cool about that? Your kids probably don't watch your show now. And I said, probably not. I don't even think my wife watches it, because it's really about me. And he goes, but one day when you're gone, they're going to have this just unlimited library of things where you've had these amazing conversations, and your personality's coming through, and you're vibrant in your life and doing this thing. That's what's cool.
That's why I do it.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I didn't think it, but I thought it was really cool. I did, but I didn't realize that I was doing it. I wasn't doing it for that reason, but if there is a reason, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. And I've actually had Derek one time. We filmed a show for just my 2 grandkids, and I sent it to them. It was just a couple of minutes. Cool. Yeah. It's kind of I'm in the studio, I'm talking to you, and they thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, so, this has inspired my grandkids. My 2 grandsons, one from my daughter and one from my son, have both started YouTube channels.
Very cool.
And it's all about fishing, and one's 8 and one's 10 and one's 13.
Oh wow!
And they're doing really, really good.
That's good.
And they're just bass fishing in the lake over there at Bridgetown.
Oh, very cool, very cool. I'm gonna come over there and fish with you kids. Yeah. I get to keep what I get though.
Yeah. Well, they're actually they never kept any of the fish, and a guy came by and said that he would buy the fish that they caught.
Lordy.
So now they got a little side business going. So that nut didn't fall far from the tree, they say, right?
For sure. Yeah, they're hustling already. So, Spanky, is there anything we didn't cover today that you want to talk about, maybe you want to bring up? I think we covered most bases. We got all the .coms and the Facebook and the YouTubes and everything. I just want to thank you for being a friend, and also doing what you do and coming on the show today and share your story. And we'll have you back, because I didn't know about the book. So be looking for the book, guys. Yep. This is kind of cool. But anyway, for sure, 100% go to his YouTube page, Facebook, follow, like, share. That's what's important to all. Same thing. And if it's not him and some other group you follow, same thing with the guys I was talking about earlier. Go to their pages, Neil Racing and Giesling Family Racing and all that stuff. Go follow them, because Mike Abbott's, Still Rose. They all need it. That's what they do. This is the days of the, digital media. That's just what it is. So follow them and like them and give them feedback. Comment on these things. Say, I love Spanky. I love him.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if they comment if they just like the page and they comment that they saw this video, everybody that makes a comment that says something about your channel or the video, their name's going to go in a hat, and we'll do dinner for two, 2 T-shirts, 2 hats from Spanky's.
Where are they going to dinner?
It'll be better than Chick-fil-A,
okay.
but not as good as something downtown at the Peabody.
We'll see how many haven't watched it all the way to the end, because it's a long show. So, yeah, you remember what he said. If you mention the Local Yokels podcast, we watch Spanky on there. What was the other perimeter? Yeah,
that they have to mention that they saw it on there, and somebody. I'll do dinner for 2 and to one person, and then a T-shirt and a hat to 2 other people.
Okay, good.
We got 3 winners.
Very cool. Very cool.
If I could afford more, then
sure. I did that on the front of my show. It worked real well. I'm not sure about the back of the show.
Well, they're going to watch the whole thing.
They're going to have to watch the whole thing. They're going to have to catch the back end. We'll know who watched, and it's probably going to be your wife or somebody like that.
Yeah. Speaking of my wife,
give her a shout out.
Yeah, dear. Thank you for the 40 plus years of happily married and letting me do this crazy stuff.
Yeah, because I imagine it's probably like sometimes she's like, oh my goodness, Spanky's done bought another car. Yeah, like I'm sure that's happened a lot.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I've probably bought and sold 300 plus cars, so she quit saying something a long time ago.
She learned her lesson early on, and it wasn't no good. You ain't changing this old dog.
That's right.
Yeah. So bless you, lady.
But she's let me keep the ones that I've got.
Yeah.
That
she probably enjoys riding in them at times.
No, she doesn't.
No, she don't do any of that.
She always says, we try to go to get ice cream or something like that. She said, we're taking the daily van or whatever.
Yeah, it's got air conditioning.
Because everybody's always looking at me when
she don't want people dealing with her.
And I was like, dear, they're beautiful, but they're not looking at you. They're not looking at me. They're just looking at the car.
It's hard to convince. I promise you, it's hard to convince her of any of that. So, but man, again, thank you for coming in today and sharing your story. And I'm sure I'll see you a lot here pretty soon, because this is it's car show time.
Oh yeah, it's car show time.
It's that time of year. We're probably gonna. This is about the end of March, so everybody knows when we're filming this, and so it'll be released probably around the 1st. So just so you be looking for it. And again, if you want to win that dinner for 2, he didn't specify where. But it'll be better than Chick-fil-A, he said.
Yeah. I'll probably just do a gift card and let you go wherever you want to go.
Okay, very cool, very cool. Now, is that mentioned on my page or your page?
Just go like Spanky's Facebook page and just leave me a comment right there, or YouTube, anywhere, any of those social media groups. Just you got to leave a message so that I know that you're you and not somebody else that just liked the page.
And go like and follow. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, look, thank you so much again for coming in. I appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you here pretty soon. And before I go, I want to remind everybody about our sponsors for this amazing giveaway of this Jeep, because we're going to benefit domestic violence. House of Grace is what it's for. Fancy Nancy Foundation is bringing this to you. That's my foundation, my family's foundation. However, we couldn't do it without all the partners involved, from Spider Off-Road, Duckworthy, MSJ Off-Road, Roof Works for sure, 100%. Him and his wife, Randy, and Kay Hendrickson. The Local Yokels podcast is part of it as well. But we're going to have it out there. Be looking for it. $20 a ticket. If you buy the packages, they get cheaper. It's all the way down to like $14.50 a ticket. But we're going to give this thing away as soon as we sell all the tickets. And remember, the proceeds go to domestic violence survivors. All right, guys. Till next time. Thank you. Bye.